Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4, the New Order as Siberia. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So, we're currently trying to improve our military as much as we possibly can. We're going to be getting another 4 military factories, which will really allow us to crank up our production of aircraft, which will be really nice for us. It is halfway through 1966, so we have about 2.5 years until our ability to invade more people, I think, gets unlocked. As far as I can tell, at least, that seems to be the case. So following that, air bases? I mean, do I need more air bases, though? I don't know, actually. For you, we do need, I think, probably all 5 of these to be finished. Let's now go for... I mean, you know, we might as well just finish this tree in its entirety and then start to worry about other stuff. So you guys have a new tree. You do. Message to Berlin. Denounce the warlords. Have you, like... I just don't want you to come kill me. That's really it. I just don't want to be killed. And I hope that makes sense. So it looks like you guys down here are now going to be fighting amongst each other. Will Orenburg join the war? I'm not too sure. I mean, Der Wanger's brigade at this point might just win anyways. Because it seems like the fascists have been doing pretty well, all things considered, in Russia so far. Why'd I No. Do not research this. Research... I guess... I mean, entrenchment plus 10's not bad. Breakthrough on its tanks make nothing. You know what? Combined operations. It gives us a benefit for our aircraft. So I guess we'll go with them. The death of you, which I believe is... Mongolia? Military leader of Mongolian steppe. You being dead really makes no difference to us whatsoever. And I wonder if China is actually going to lose against the NPA. There's a chance that happens. And then I'm assuming the Japanese will then immediately try to intervene, if I had to take a guess. And are these areas cores of yours yet? Still no, they are still colony states. And again, them being colony states means that just this area towards the south matters the most. But I think Der Wanger's probably going to get killed fairly soon. I'm assuming I can't send any volunteers here. And then what's going to happen with this guy? I don't know, but he's probably also not going to live for too much longer. Because I can't imagine he's going to declare war himself. That seems like a foolish maneuver on his part. Okay, so we've reinforced the soldiers. Follow that up with... Do we need arm... You know what? Actually, getting some tanks would not be a bad idea. Another bonus towards... Yeah, we'll go for another level of land doctrine. 25 days on you. War ain't it all cracked up to be. Up you go, call the squad leader, hoisting his scrawny Stefan into the back of the vehicle. Stefan's got up to the side of the vehicle, trying to get a look over the edge. All he got was a boot to the face. Watch it, barked one of the squad mates, trampling over the recruit as he took his seat. What the hell are you doing? You look like a turtle on the shell with all that gear. What the hell was he doing? The question resonated with Stefan. He was only 17. He never held a right gun in his life and understood next to nothing of tactics, but what he lacked in military theory, he made up for in stories. The boy was in love with the idea of heroism and was more heroic than the army. Hey, same squad mate called out. You're going to hump the side of the vehicle, or you're going to get over here so the rest of the team can get on? Stefan nodded, lunging from one side of the armored vehicle to the other, and on one of the benches. So what are you doing here, the burly man questioned. Well, Stefan cleared his throat. Well, I guess I just wanted to help out. Yeah, well, you're doing a hell of a job, the seasoned veteran sneered. Stefan remained silent, only looking down. Hey, I'm just giving you shit. Where are you from? Novosibirsk. My dad, Stefan get choked up. Well, he was in the city, came under attack. He tried to get the people out of his factory to rise up, you know, fight for something, and they just shot him then and there. The man beside him nodded, understanding his story quite well. Your dad sounded like a brave man, Stefan nodded. The soldier patted him on the back. You seem like a good kid. The man extended his gloved hand. I'm Dovich. I'm here to help you get to learn the ropes. But the state truly fears true camaraderie. Where is Novosibirsk? It's going to be in this area here, which we did conquer at some point. So I can say 2 more military factories. Okay, so... I think then we do want to get some tanks up and running, even though I know we're not using them in any templates. I mean, we do have our infantry fighting vehicles still, right? We have a handful of them. We have, what, 400? But we also have some tanks as well. Tanks and infantry fighting vehicles. So we're going to get, let's just say, no, just division designer. Create an empty template. Main battle tank, main battle tank, main battle tank. Infantry fighting vehicle, infantry fighting vehicle. You currently have 10 combat with. We'll throw in some infantry in there as well. Just some light infantry. Just to make it 20 combat with. Throw in an engineering company in there as well. What else would you want? Sport artillery as well? Seems like an okay choice. Defense is pretty okay. Air attack's not great. Heart attack. Piercing at 78. You could maybe throw like another tank in there, honestly. Yeah, let's get, let's say, 3 of you guys going as well. They're going to be expensive, I know. But that's still okay, I think. How many vehicles are we actually missing now? Probably a decent amount. We actually still have enough infantry fighting vehicles, which I'm surprised by. We're missing 220 tanks. It's going to take us a while to get all those in place, but that's okay. Because how many infantry fighting vehicles do you actually use per army? Only 80. Which is not so bad. You're really, again, you're just missing the tanks more than anything. But overall, I would say the Black Army is looking pretty good. And you guys have now unified all of Kazakhstan. The bandits have reigned in Kazakhstan. The Kazakhstan Khanate has now been established. I don't even know if we actually invade our way down there or not, to be quite honest with you. And after that, let's go for probably another level of support equipment. Let's get our engineers up one more level. After you're done for research extraction, I think we probably even want to get the recon companies up another level as well when we have the opportunity to do so. So once you're done, after that, we can teach the teachers military egalitarianism. More upgrades for battle tanks would not be bad. The thing is, like, I don't really want to spend money on the air bases, because I've already built the air bases myself. So I really don't need too many of them. But I guess we'll go for the Tomsk Firearm Collective first. We are missing some aluminum, we're missing some rubber. But we have no factories to actually use right now, which is unfortunate. What else is missing here? 2-act play, impending motion. Okay, that's fine. The 2-act play. Since when were Spetnov's teeth so white? Had they always been that way? Valtiv couldn't tell. The more he thought about it, had he ever seen Spetnov smile? Surely he must have at some point, but as much as Valentin sifted through all his memories, he couldn't find the faintest image of Spetnov's teeth. Well, he never needed another one. The man was all smiles now. He read over the document. I love this. You two built this? He swung a fat finger between Valentin and Brisaro. Mr. Rukno, vain old bastard he was, jumped to take the credit. Well, it was drafted by myself. I'm just a companion. I just had my companion give it a seal of approval because of rank. Spetnov raised an eyebrow looking at Valtiv. That's bullshit, Commander. Alzheimer's has no idea what he's talking about. Valtiv's rebutted. Very classy. Attack command for his age. For his experience, I served valiantly for freedom against Nazi tyranny, and I do the same today, Mr. boasted. Spetnov shook his head and removed his glasses. I don't care who wrote which words. What matters here is that this doctrine is solid. Good work, both or either of you. Sokano's his smile pulled off his jowls. Proudly walked out of the room. Valentin shot a confused glance at Spetnov, who simply responded with a shrug. A new doctrine for the army. I like the image of this, him going like, dude, I don't know. Just, you know, it is what it is. How are you not dead, by the way? How are you not dead? What cities do you still need to take? Okay, you have one city there. You have a city on this, and you have your capital here, which the AI just doesn't seem to have too much interest in actually taking over. And of course, you are Japanese there. Omsk condemns us? That's very rude. Refugees fleeing from the vengeance-obsessed lands administered by Omsk have notified us of internal propaganda has been distributed in their territory. Apparently, we're little more than Rasputin's warlords here to profit off the dark ages of Russia, yet simultaneously we're naive idealists who are incapable of making hard choices needed to ensure Russia's survival in the face of the Great Trial. Regardless of internal inconsistencies, these marks the noble movement in our relationships with the Black League. It seems war will be on the frontiers for long. Well, That seems bad. That seems really bad, and I don't like it. So all these new infantry we're training up are immediately going to go onto the Omsk border. Really, no doubt about that. In fact, I'm going to deploy these guys right now and immediately put them into Red Army. We can even go for more stuff here. Increase military research. Land doctrine goes up. Research speed plus 5%. Otherwise, we get 10% or just a flat 10%. Power of the Black Army. Political power plus 150%. Just trying to think, like, what do we need? Factory output plus 10%? You know what? Increase military production. Let's get that one going. 40 political power. Too expensive. 150 rifles, so we can easily afford that. 3 army experience. Basically is meaningless to us. And we have 1 more we need. Yeah, that seems fine. Apparently, we're actually still generating... volunteers only is negative 0.02. So I think we are slightly generating more army experience than we're losing, because we definitely didn't have 62 before. And we don't need to convince you, because we've already said no to that. And we need more political power for some regional development. But overall, I would say the Black Army is looking pretty nice. You'll be ready in 10 days. Again, we need all 5 of you to actually do any of these bonuses. You are at just a flat 5% attack, 5% reinforcement rate, while you, on the other hand, our organization goes up. Attack and defense on core territory also increases, but the core territory, I'm kind of on it, to be quite honest with you. I really don't think it's that meaningful. We do want to go for probably next little recon company with you. Germany did declare war on you for some reason. I'm actually not too sure why you would go to war with Ostland. Maybe you're trying to declare some independence. That seems, you know, feasible. I mean, you're trying to silence the liberals. So now that we finished with you, let's next go... I guess we'll get the air bases next. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I think, which order we take things in. And teaching the teachers. This. Pavel held his weapon high above his head, showing it off to the class. It is a gun. The unimpressed room did not stare in awe as the weapon as Pavel expected. Not just any weapon, he continued. This is an authentic 1947 automatic Klishnikov, or as you may know it better, the AK-47. Who here knew what an AK stood for prior to me saying so? Come on, show of hands. Nearly the entire room of engineers, artists, and scientists begrudgingly raised their hands. Oh, don't lie to me now. There's no way you all knew that. Okay, liars, let's break down the gun into its essential components. The instructor began to disassemble his gun on the table. In the back of the room, the former poet, Yamar, nudged the person next to him with the shoulders. Hey, he said, do you have any idea why we're here? The man focused intensely on disassembling the gun, ignored him. Hey, yet enough nudged him again. This time harder. Just watch what he's doing, the man spat, continuing to tinker with his weapon. Jeez, Yamar thought. What's wrong with these people? Were they so obsessed with their tools of destruction that they forgot what matters most? Basic human decency? Something washed over him. He must have called out this injustice, even if it was small. He rose from his seat and stepped up to the table. People of Tomsk, lay down your arms. Remember what we stood for? The future. These murder machines are not tools for peace. Rise now. Deny them your hand and further envelopment of the earth in the war. Yamanov's heavy breathing compromised only the sound of the room. The people in the room looked at him with puzzled stares before praying under their breath that the poor man would get some help. Where are we? 2 times bonus infantry weapons, though, could actually make you worthwhile. 351 days, it's still expensive. Well, you do get 2 times bonus for it. Enemy air support, but I mean, I don't have any issues with enemy air support. I think actually going for a 1 year long for getting the AK-47, I think is completely acceptable. I think 100% makes sense for us. It looks like you have the 1 year war in Siberia, which means you're going to get yourself renamed as well. So you are now Erzgurz unifies Russia's Far East. The reign of terror marches to the Far Eastern Soviet Socialist Republic. We'll, of course, draw up our line all the way up towards the north. We actually don't need to. Continue where you are right now. We probably don't need 2 invasion plans, to be quite honest. So we'll delete this. All of you should be on that plan. And you'll kind of just go as soon as you can. Because, again, we should outnumber you. 8 to 12. We have 17 forces on this division. You guys have adopted the old Soviet flag. So the question is, will you try to invade us? Potentially. Which worries me. I mean, I'm worried that I could end up in a two-front war, which is absolutely not what we want at all. Of course, you guys are all colony states. I mean, we could easily win this war. And the way I see this is because our next step is to reunify Siberia, which is attacking you. I'm imagining the next step for these guys is to attack each other. So until there's only basically 2 power blocks left, and then we eventually clash in one final confrontation. Which we should win. Again, we do outnumber everybody else. And unsurprisingly, you have... Germany's won the war. How's Italy doing, by the way? You're still the Italian Empire. You're still led by the Social Democrats. And it looks like Romania has joined up with the Germans. So let's see what the... You're still the breadbasket of the Reich, so I'm assuming you are still part of Germany's sphere. Even if it doesn't really show it here. Land of contrast, black market trading's light. I don't think we have any black market trading actually within our country, which I'll take that as a sign that things are going well for us. We'll follow that up with... Helicopter designs does not seem useful. Light aircraft design also basically doesn't seem very useful for us right now. What we can learn. Nothing here makes sense. Yuri Glasnov slammed his fist in the desk to document for him. So aptly titled, An Objective Analysis of the Military State of Novosibirsk, made Yuri stick in his stomach. Mashiko, he could expect this kind of behavior out of, but Valendiv would have come over the man as he signed off on the report praising Alexander Porkushkin. Yuri leaned back in his chair, the disbelief. Serious companions? I shouldn't have had to tell you this power-hungry, the status this. Yuri searched his brain for the more harsh words, but for the general... But came up empty-handed. He levered us alongside. I guess I just had to I can't believe this whole thing. The two men in his office shared a look. The two fought at every turn, yet had settled on his appraisal of what would be adapted for the warlord state of Novosibirsk and applied a modern free Novosibirsk. Representative spoke first, looking straightforward and stoic. Companion Glasgow, well, with all due respect, you don't know what the first damn thing about war. Valny slapped his forehead in frustration. God damn it. Yuri leaned forward, his disbelief rapidly metamorphosing with rage. Excuse me? Panty glass glove. Valny sheepily injected. Yuri, my hate for tyranny burns just as bright as yours. I find their methods sickening and cruel. Valny paused, carefully choosing his next words. However, that doesn't mean that we can't take something bad and make it good. Borznev was an army man through and through, and as such left very detailed notes on his preferred methods of war, specifically pertaining to aerial combat, something we are lagging behind in. I actually think we're the biggest air force in Russia, but let's not worry about that. Yuri mulled over Valtnir's explanation. The two military men stand in silence before the hero of the free territory. Yuri shot an icy glare at Mishokno. If we begin to mimic the state, we'll be shocked when we become it. Yuri paused. Yet, I understand your point of view. You have my green light. Now go with it. So we should, I think, have, bigger air forces now. We have even more close air support, so we'll crank you up to, let's say, 300. Seems like an okay choice. And it looks like you guys have stepped down in... Well, I don't know where this is. Sultan's will... I don't know. But somebody stepped down, and that's okay. It's someone who has a sultan, so I guess that's at least one kind of idea. Nagasaki Accords is signed, bringing peace to Vietnam. Okay. Between the Communist Party and the Empire of Vietnam. So it looks like the communists have stood down in Vietnam then. Unification of Russia. Like, I just want to move my troops across the border. You know? I think that seems pretty simple. If anything, I'm kind of okay if they attack us first. If they attack us first, it means that we can also just invade them when we have to. So the United States is still kind of doing their own thing. Moscow, I still don't really know what's happening with them. I actually think it's a little bit broken there. So our deficit to income ratio is 30%, which is still, again, not bad. It's worse than it has been in the past. But it's still not horrible. I would like to make some more money, though. Increase our GDP somewhat. Right now, our GDP is $42 billion. We're $4.5 billion in debt. Which actually is not so bad. Total expenditures are at $8.59 billion. And annual deficit's $2 billion. Annual income rate's 9.7. Other incomes is basically 0. Well, that's fine. Let's go for tanks for peace. Seems like an okay choice. And reinvent. Well, we'll definitely be finish our focus tree before 1969. Reinventing the wheel. It's not rocket science, Alexei, laughed Julia, twirling the wrench from her hands. It's so easy for some old Ukrainian guy to figure it out. Come check it out. The one hopped out of Sanakha 2 as Julia called a heap of scrap metal. Alexei shook his head. It's much more complicated than that, Julia. You don't just strap a gun to the back of a vehicle and call it a day. Have you considered stabilization? How far can you get on one tank? Julia rolled her eyes, digging through the thousand drawers in her garage. This is serious. You got 2 days to finalize this project before you show it off to the Security Council. Those people don't mess around, Julia. Who knows what they'll do to you if you waste their time? Julia turned back to face her friend, her lips pursed. Well, unlucky for you. We're never going to find this out. This thing works, okay? I spent the last 6 months on it, and frankly, Alexei, if it doesn't, I hope Alti strings me up by my ankles. If Alexei rolled his eyes now, not finding the same humor as his friend, don't believe me? Get in. The young woman slammed the drawer shut with her hips and retrieved the keys from the wall. Catch! Nearly hitting Alexei square in the face. She tossed the keys to the dumbfounded boy, taking up all the good space in her garage. Julia, come on, this is ridiculous. I mean, Alexei looked at the vehicle and then the keys and then back to his friends. A slight smirk formed on his face. If you say it works, if I'm right though, you can go tell the Security Council all your secrets so they can torture you. Alexei giggled as he ran out of the passenger door. Put her to the drive. We get 150 things of motorized equipment for free. Not bad. We actually have 500 motorized equipment. Well, so we might even, basically 682 motorized equipment. We might even want to then duplicate you. Switch you over to motorized infantry. Do you need an anti-tank for this? You do, which we don't actually produce any of. No, wait, no, we do make anti-tank equipment, right? I think so. Motorized anti-tank, motorized anti-air. Yeah, so you know what? Let's train up 3 of you. Do not have this template. Use default symbol. There we go. Save as that. You're only going to be 16 combat with. That's kind of okay. We're missing motorized. Okay, I know we're not making any motorized right now. We can do that pretty quickly just with this. There we go. But I do think it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So thanks so much for watching, my Swim. If you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up. Not enjoyed, please thumb down. If you want to see me, subscribe, and goodbye.